Hi, and welcome to the video series on using the free mapping program ArcGIS Explorer Desktop for emergency and day-to-day operations. These videos are intended to introduce emergency responders to several critical mapping and GIS skills required of any field level person, dispatcher, or SAR team member. This lesson will introduce you to ArcGIS Explorer, outline the basic GIS and mapping skill set that each person in emergency operations should develop, and show you how to download and install ArcGIS Explorer Desktop. You can also read this lesson in the ArcGIS Explorer chapter of Using GIS for Wildland Search and Rescue, available from mapsar.net or esri.com. If you've already installed ArcGIS Explorer, you can skip to Lesson 2, Setting Up and Using ArcGIS Explorer. ArcExplorer Desktop is a versatile program from ESRI with the potential to be used in all aspects of operations and day-to-day mapping needs. It comes in two formats, ArcExplorer Desktop and ArcExplorer Online. We'll focus on ArcGIS Explorer Desktop, but it's worth investigating the online version to see if it suits your needs. Like Google Earth, ArcExplorer is free and fairly easy for non-technical people to use. It has both a 2D and a 3D display mode and can help you visualize terrain using a wide variety of free and publicly available base maps and other data. Unlike some other mapping programs, it also easily uses shapefiles and file geodatabases, which many government agencies and organizations use as their standard geospatial file type. When connected to the internet, you have the option to use a variety of online maps, called base maps, to visualize terrain. A huge advantage of using Explorer, though, is it doesn't need to be connected to the internet to perform most of its mapping functions. You can also use maps and data stored on your computer's hard drive or a portable USB drive. In a later lesson, we'll explain how and where to obtain other maps and data. There are a number of software mapping options available, and ultimately, you should use what you or your team or department are comfortable with. ArcExplorer should be considered for its ability to use a wide variety of geospatial file types, its accessibility to non-technical people, its ability to work in a disconnected environment, and its compatibility with the full version of ESRI's ArcGIS desktop software. The basic skill set that everyone needs to master are using ArcGIS Explorer Desktop for basic mapping needs, understanding coordinate systems and how to make sure you can both receive and transmit the correct information when using coordinates. Equally important is that you know enough to ask for clarification when it's not clear what coordinate type you're being given. Using GIS Explorer as the initial basis for recording and keeping track of geospatial information on an incident. You may require more advanced tools later as an incident expands, but in the early hours, all personnel should have the skill to do this. Finding coordinates from a location. For instance, a team radios you with the name of a geographic location, such as Charlotte Lake. You then need to find the actual coordinates to direct another team or helicopter to that location. Finding a location from coordinates. For instance, the Spot Geos International Emergency Response Center in Texas calls you to report an emergency activation in your area. The dispatcher gives you a set of coordinates. You need to know to confirm what the coordinate type is, the datum, and to double check with the nearest named geographic location. Then you need to enter the coordinates and find it on a map. Converting coordinates from one type to another. For instance, coordinates are reported to you in degrees, minutes, seconds from a field team using a paper map with a datum of 1927. You need to convert that to the aviation standard of degrees decimal minutes and a datum of NAD 83, then direct a helicopter to that location. Finally, everyone should be able to use the drawing tools of Explorer Desktop to create a basic incident map or briefing map that can be printed or emailed to anyone needing the information. So the first step is for you to figure out if your computer will run ArcGIS Explorer Desktop. After that, you'll download it and install it. Then you'll also want to download and install the projection expansion pack so you have access to a full range of coordinate types. The first step in using ArcGIS Explorer is to make sure it runs on your machine. So you want to go to this URL, esri.com, software ArcGIS Explorer. Next, we're going to find out if your system runs ArcGIS Explorer and then download it and install it. So go to, if you haven't already, esri.com/software/ArcGIS/Explorer, and that'll take you to the ArcGIS Explorer desktop download page. The first thing you want to find out is if your computer has Microsoft Net Framework on it installed in the latest version. There's not really an easy way to do this. You could Google, how do I find if Microsoft Net, or what version of Microsoft Net is installed on my computer, or you could just go ahead and download it. And the next thing you want to do is go to System Requirements, and that'll give you the requirements for your computer to figure out if it will run ArcGIS Explorer Desktop. The one disadvantage to desktop is that it's pretty processor and graphics card intensive. So computers that are more than sometimes 3 or 4 years old have problems running it. But there is a good utility here. So scroll down until you come to check your computer's ability to run ArcGIS Explorer Desktop and click on that. And then when you click Run, it'll check your computer and find out if the graphics card and CPU and memory are enough to run it.